Okay, well, here we're going to do an exercise on Excel. This is a very simple exercise. Even the exercise that you will do in your activities are simple too. It's just like the numbers change and a little bit more complicated, but just a little bit. Honestly, I think that this is not that difficult. Just follow me so you know how to solve this. It's just following steps. It's very simple, super easy math. So first, this is the data that we have for our problem. So let's analyze each piece of information that we have so we kind of know and understand better the situation. So first, I have a long position. That means that I will buy something. So you remember long means buy. That's the first thing that I need to know. And I have the forward and future price. Forward or future, I wrote in here as the same thing because for the terms of this exercise, it's the same thing. We can calculate this with a forward or with a future. It's the same thing. And I didn't write the date, the maturity, because yeah, also in this exercise, it's not really that important. I can write it in here, maybe in 1 year. I mean, like the maturity of this contract is in 1 year, but it's not that relevant. You will see when we solve the problem. So the rate that I signed that I will pay in the future for this specific problem or this exercise is going to be 20 pesos per dollar. So I signed that in the future, in 1 year, I will pay 20 pesos to buy $1. And then the next piece of information, how many dollars in that contract? Well, 100,000. So I will have to buy $100,000 at a price of 20 pesos each. And finally, I didn't buy only one contract. I bought 5 contracts, or I signed for 5 contracts. So I need to remember that I signed 5 contracts at the size of $100,000 each at a price of 20 pesos per dollar, and I have a long position, so I will have to buy the dollars. So then later I have this information in here. It says that in 2 months from now, the prices can change. It can be 20, it can be 21, it can be 19. And we need to know what will be the value of our position. That's how it's called. Value of my position or our position. So I need to know the value of our position or my position at this time. Assuming this, that in 2 months, the price will be 20. But maybe in 2 months the price will be 21, or that in 2 months the price will be 19. So to calculate that, it's very simple. I suggest you to follow this formula because it simplifies things a lot. So first, you need to calculate the value of the position at day 0 when everything starts. Okay. So the formula to calculate that is very simple. It's the price times the size times the number of contracts. So that's the formula. It's very simple. So let's calculate my initial position, the value of my position at the beginning. It will be 20 pesos times $100,000. For the formula, I don't have to use commas, times 5. And this amount is the initial value of my position. So when I sign the contract, this is called the value of my position, 10 million pesos. And then I need to calculate the same thing, but using these rates. What will be the value of my position at 20? What will be the value of my position at 21? And what will be the value of my position at 19? So let's do that calculation. At 20, I think it will be exactly the same thing. 20 times 100,000 times 5. It will be the same. Okay. Then, if we do the second assumption, it will change a little bit because now it says 21 times 100,000 times 5. So it's a bit different now. And then letter C, it will be 19 times 100,000 times 5. So it's a bit different. So, but I am not done in here because here I only calculated the value of my position, but I need to calculate the difference between this and this, the initial one. I need to calculate this minus this, this minus this minus this, because I need to know if I am gaining value with what I have or if I am losing value. So to start with, let's focus on the first one, letter A. Letter A says that the price is 20. If you ask yourself, how would you do the subtraction? Which minus what? What minus what, sorry? I think it's easier if you understand what position do you have, right? So in all of these problems, we have a long position. In all of these assumptions, we have a long position. The long position means that I will be forced to buy at 20 pesos, okay? So if the price is 21, will I be happy for paying only 20 instead of 21? Yes, right? I will be happy that I signed the contract. So in this, in letter B, I will have a profit. Even before I do the calculations, I know that I am happier for paying 20, because remember, I have a long position. I am forced to buy, and buy what? Buy dollars. Dollars at a price of 20 pesos. So I am happy to buy this amount of dollars at 20 pesos instead of 21. So it will be a profit. And in the other one, if the market is 19, but I am forced to pay 20 pesos per dollar, then I am sad. So it will be a loss. So then to complete the exercise, I think in the letter A, it's super easy that the answer is 0, right? Because it didn't change anything. So there is no problem. In letter B, I need to subtract this minus this, and that will be the answer. That I am gaining 500,000 pesos with the position that I have. And then in the letter C, it will be a loss, right? Okay. So this will be the answer to my exercise. You will have something similar in the activity, so you can practice with it. Just before we finish, let's assume that I also ask you to solve the same problem, but assuming a short position. So this will be the answer for the long position. And now I ask you the same, but for the short position, for the counterpart. So how can we solve this? Well, the calculations in here didn't change because we didn't change these values. It will be the same thing. It's just the way in which we interpret if we are making a profit or loss that is going to change, right? So if I am forced to sell dollars at 20 pesos and the market is 20, am I happy, sad, or neutral? I will be neutral, right? It's the same if I sell it in the market or if I sell it in the contract, so it's 0. But if I am forced to sell my dollars at 20 instead of 21, then I will be sad, right? It's the opposite. Then I will have to do the subtraction the other way around. So then I have a loss. And if I am forced to sell my dollars at 20 instead of 19, I will be happy because it's more, I get more money, right? So it will be this minus this. So usually I only ask you about one position, but be aware that you can be asked to calculate both short and long. I think it's very simple. It's very, very simple. I think it is. Don't worry if you get it wrong in the first try, do it again. Try to do it again. The other day I was talking with someone because they asked me, why do I leave you so many cheats and homeworks, especially about practice. And I say that, well, the first time that I cooked a quesadilla, I think it was, I didn't even cook it. I think it was too cold. I totally failed to do my quesadilla, even though that my mom taught me how to do a quesadilla, but I failed. Then the next time that I did my quesadilla, because I thought it needed more heat, I burned my quesadilla, and it was I think I even turned on the fire alarm. So, and then finally in the third attempt, I kind of got a decent quesadilla. So I think with practice, we know how to do things. Like it's the same in here. Maybe you have never done anything with derivatives. Maybe you don't remember anything about, I don't know, currencies. So in the first try, maybe you will burn your exercise like I burned my quesadilla. So you need to practice more. And I think maybe after the third or fourth try, you will get it more decent. And then in the end, after 5-6 times, you will be able to cook proper quesadillas or something like this. Just a silly example, but I think it's worth practicing. Like watch the video, it's nice. Then if you have any questions, let me know. Do this exercise on your own, then do the activity, then do the homework, and then in the case study you will do well. So I think we're over with the forward future exercise and my quesadilla example. And after this, we're going to go to another type of derivative, which is options. Options are a bit more complicated. We're going to learn about that, but don't worry that much. We're going to learn how to do it.